Now, a little while ago, I made a video about how Jax is probably an NPC. Not the most creative theory ever, but still one that I think holds up generally, and I think I've got some good evidence in that video that other people might not have. But then this came out, and people start saying that since they say 5 other humans, this completely disproves the theory that Jax is an NPC. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to exactly give away the plot twist in this, but trying to rationalize for this made me think of something. What if there is a 5th human? But not Jax. Caine. Hold on, hear me out. In this scene in the pilot, when Pomni's rushing through all these buildings and all these exit doors, we can generally assume that this is probably the building in which the digital circus was created because of this specific scene right here. Now, when she continues to run throughout the building that we assume is the company that made the circus, we see a logo, C&A. Now, that seems pretty important because this is the company that made the circus in the first place. Now, the best theory about this at the moment is MattBats talking about the Bible story of Cain and Abel. There's tons of cool information in that video that I suggest you go watch, but the most important thing is that we can assume that the C in this stands for Cain. And sure, it's possible that one of the developers just named the character after themselves, but I think it's much more interesting, at least for a YouTube video, if we assume that Cain actually is the real-life Cain. Now, the most compelling argument against this is this scene here, where we see that Cain is undoubtedly tied to the circus in some way. When Zubul is honest about the adventurers saying no one actually likes them, he has a bit of a mental breakdown, and as he does, the entire circus kind of starts going haywire and glitching around them. The rest of the scene matches up. He has human reactions and even begins to maybe abstract, but there's no way that a human could be inexplicably tied to the circus and, make the adventures that he does. Right? Right? Well, I'm making this video, so hopefully not. My theory is that since Cain was one of the creators, he's the developer of the game. The game is glitching out around him because he's tied to it as the person who programmed it in the first place. That's why he's touchy about people insulting his game. All he exists to do is be the developer of this game. Now, I don't think that he knows he's a human if he is. I think that he's been locked in here as the developer of the game, told that he's an NPC, whose job it is to make the adventures and make everyone feel accustomed. After all, that is kind of the job of a game developer anyways, to make the adventures people go on, and of course, to make them feel welcome. Now, Cain definitely plays into the part of the ringmaster NPC. So either intentionally or just because he's been in there so long, for some reason he doesn't remember his past life and thinks he actually is just the person who runs the circus, the NPC that runs the circus. Because that's what NPCs do, right? Run the game they're from? Yeah, that's not how it works. Sans didn't program Undertale, Toby Fox did. If he's an NPC running off of AI, he can't just create things out of thin air. He has to base them off of something. He doesn't work like an AI. His brain definitely operates more like a human's would, creating new things. And I think he used to be the person who did that, who made new things. He is Cain from the Cain and Abel company. He's the 5th human. And this still allows, of course, for Jax to be an NPC. You can watch my other video about why I think that is, but it's a pretty common theory at this point. So I've covered all the points about that theory over there. But aside from characters like Jax, people like Kinger have reasons to be in the circus. He was the bug tester who was originally testing out the game to make sure it runs smoothly. And Cain over here being the developer would mean that he probably got sucked in first, playtesting the game for the first time. Or even was sent in there by his business partner, Abel. He was literally Ernesto de la Cruz. There's definitely been enough foreshadowing to set up Abel as some sort of series villain, so I think that's definitely a possibility. I'd be more than happy to make a follow-up video talking about this more in detail if you guys want. But until then, Cain is a human, Flowey is Rousey, and this has been Tater Animations trying to do an outro. An outro, of course, that immediately gets interrupted by the end card. So, Halloween just happened a long time ago. I'm sorry, guys. I was really sick. I still am sick. That's why my voice sounds so bad and why this video took so long. So, sorry about that. Also, for some reason, CapCut keeps making all of its features for Pro, so I can't even upload videos properly anymore, so I'm going to try and figure out how to edit out watermarks later. That'll be fun. And also, anytime I try and say Cain, it always does the sound effect over top like the Cain. I'm not sure why it does that. So, this video was a pain to record, and I'm going to be honest, a pain to make in general. But I still feel like it turned out all right. So, yeah. I would love it if you liked and subscribed for this specific reason.